So, you've just finished a great activity, be it a run, a bike ride, or something else. You get back in and you want to have a look at the data. You want to see how you've done and drill down into the detail. So you open your Apple Fitness app, you have a look, and then you go, doesn't really show me what I want to know. Fortunately, there's plenty of other apps out there, but most of them require a hefty subscription. Now, I found an app that I think might be the answer to your prayers. So let's have a look at it. So this is the HealthFit app. The opening screen shows all your workouts, chronologically ordered. So you can see my last run was on Friday the 14th of November. And if you scroll down, all my activities are laid out there. If I go to the top left side, I can filter the workouts. So if I wanted to see my strength training, I could select strength training, and that will show all the strength training workouts I've completed. Generally, I leave it on all workouts. On the right hand side, you can select workout planner, what type of map you want to look at, and you can also add workouts from this menu. If you click into one of your workouts, and I'll just go back and select one, select this one. So this was an almost 8-mile run, and as you can see, this is the sort of data you get. You get a map which you can expand and shows your speed throughout the run, being faster or slower at certain points. Then you get a quick look at your heart rate, and you can scroll across to get your power reading, pace and elevation throughout the workout. Then as we go down, we get more and more data. So initially we get your time, your total time, your lapse time. One of the subscription options is the AI coach. I found this to be fairly useful, certainly in the next tab, which is statistics, and I'll show you that shortly. You got an idea of your fitness and fatigue, your training load focus, and similar workouts. This is what I find to be a really important statistic. From this, you can see similar runs that I've done is 84 of around about 8 miles using a similar sort of course. This particular run, here we have a hare and here we have a tortoise at this end, and you can see that run was somewhere in the middle. If you click into that, you get a good summary of those runs. So you get the fastest one, the median, which is the middle run, and your slowest run. So you can see the fastest time I've done that run in was at a pace of 8 minutes and 8 seconds per mile. The slowest was 9:57 per mile. And as you scroll up, that's every time that you've done that run will be showed along here, and you can click into each one of them. Now this run that I've done here will show up halfway down these runs, there it is, with a blue bar against it. So that's where it sits in terms of the pace. And I find that really good. If you want to go and do this run and you think, I really want to push it, I want to try and beat my best time at this, you can come in here, have a look, 8 minutes and 8 seconds are my best. You can put that into your Apple Watch and pace yourself against that run. So I find that really useful. Then you have distance, the tiles crossed, so that just shows you how many tiles you've crossed in that run. Speed gives you average, maximum speeds, then your first and second splits. So your speed on the first half of the run and on the second half of the run, and then it will tell you whether it's a positive or negative split. In this case, it was a positive split, so I was faster during the first half of the run than during the second one. Then you get a lot more information now. So this talks about pace, and it just gives you an overview of your pace with grade adjusted pace if you want it. But if you dig in, then you start to get a lot more graphs on the actual activity, and that's exactly the same for power. Get lots of data if you want it, but you obviously don't have to use it. Running dynamics, so this talks about your cadence, your stride length, number of steps, etc., etc. Elevation, so So it shows your elevation, your gain, how much you've done over the whole course of the activity, and the maximum that you went up to, in this case only 75 feet. Then you've got all your heart rate data, and you can click into this and it'll give you a lot more data around your heart rate. Your cardio fitness there is your VO2 max, and your heart rate, active energy, various graphs that you've got. Then you get your post-workout heart rate. You can see that after 1 minute, I was down 31 beats per minute, but if you look that up, that's pretty good after a minute, dropping that much beats per minute. Training load, and again, your heart rate zones. It'll even track your shoes. So if you put your shoes in, so I'm running in Hoka Clifton 10s, and I've done, at this point on this day, I'd run 137 miles in those Clifton 10s. So lots of information around the activity. If we move on to the second tab, so that was the workouts tab, we'll now go on to the statistics tab. And what this shows us is our fitness. So a lot of these things I don't understand, but this is your fitness level against your fatigue and your form. And what's quite helpful is there's a little AI section here, which actually tells you a little bit more and gives you more of an insight, and tells you whether you should be pushing yourself harder or whether you need to pull back a little bit, take things a little bit easier. So I find that quite useful. Training load ratio tells you where you are. So it tells you if you're overexerting yourself or underexerting yourself. So I'm currently in the sweet spot, so I'm quite pleased with that. When I do a long run tomorrow, that will push up into the amber zone before coming back down again. One of the really useful features of the HealthFit app is the goals, and that's this section here. And I've set it up so I want to do a weekly, a monthly, and an annual goal. My weekly goal is to run 26 miles. My monthly goal is to run 104, and this all wraps up into trying to run 1,000 miles a year. So if we look at my weekly goal, it was 26 miles for this week. I've actually run 29 miles, so 111%, so that's good. If I go down to my monthly, this is for November, so I'm at 58 miles with a goal of 104, so I'm green on both of those, so I'm ahead of where I need to be. The inner ring is where I should be, and the outer ring is where I am. And then if we go on to see my yearly goal of trying to reach 1,000 miles, I'm at 841, 84% of the way through. But you can see the inner circle's amber, the outer green ring isn't quite up to where I should be. And if we click further into that, it shows you it again, but it also shows you, if I bring that up, you can see this chart of where I am. And so I dropped behind where I needed to be, but I am starting just there to catch up. And with the goals I've got set at the minute, I should get back on track and reach that 1,000 miles by the end of the year. So I find this goal section really helpful. Then the other statistics, and there's loads, there's running power, your training load for this week, this month, how far you've run in the past 12 months, so 917 in the past 12 months. This is interesting, year to date, so I've run 845 miles. This time last year I'd run 795 miles. So again, I was trying to reach the 1,000, but miles behind. I was never going to make it last year. But you can actually go in and click and see where you started to fall behind on that. So again, really good to look at your data versus last year. Heat maps, when do you run? You can see I tend to run Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then it just goes through lots of different stats. I'm not going to go through them all. But that's it. That's your statistics. When you go on to the next tab is health. Now this takes a lot of your metrics from your Apple Watch, and it's just easy. It's all in one place, and it's really easy to see. So you've got your resting heart rate there, your HRV, oxygen saturation, etc. And you can go back in time, 7 days, 30 times, and all time. Next one is for friends. As you can see, I don't have any friends. It's not something I use to try and locate people. And to be honest, not many people have this app who I know. So it's not something that I use, but it's there if you want to use it. Then the final tab is profile. So on here you have a workout planner. So click in that and you can see you can plan runs. I've got a few planned in here, and you can send these to your Apple Watch. So functional strength training there. I can schedule it for when I want to do it. So I click in there and I can put a planned date in here and schedule it. And then you just click that. It will send that to your Apple Watch, and you'll see that come out in your workout app on your Apple Watch. You just click on that and it will start that functional strength training routine for you. So again, another nice little useful tool. These are all the platforms that it will send information out to. So you can see here I've sent it to my calendar, but you've got and the iCloud Drive, Komoot, you've got all the normal ones, Strava, so it'll send it to Strava, you've got Training Peaks, etc. on here. So there's quite a few apps that it will send information to. Then just some of the settings around your synchronization settings, your health metrics settings, etc. You can export your files, in this case in a fit format. You can add workouts. You can change your heart rate settings and your heart rate zones if you want to set them up independently. You can have your gear in here, so you can put what gear you're using. You can change the AI coach from, I've got the analyst, but you can have a more humorous coach, just to give you a bit of variation. The units, etc., the icon you want, and just a few bits and pieces around settings. And that is a very quick run through the Workouts app. I can thoroughly recommend it. It's far better than the Apple Fitness app, and I would think you should go and give it a go. Subscription cost in the UK is, there's two different levels. There's a level that's $4.99 and a level that's $9.99, but that is for an entire year. A lot of apps are charging somewhere around the £5 mark per month. So this is exceptional value. And I would think in the US, it may be something like $11.99 and $7.99 equivalent, but still exceptional value. So let me know what you think. Put in the comments if you think this is any good, or if you think there's any better apps out there that I should be looking at. Also, if you've enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you get informed of future videos. Thanks very much for watching.